Hare Krishna. From all the devotees for the morning's Bhagavatam. Om Adhyantavyantasya Jnananjanashakaya Chakshurannalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Nirvishesha Shunyari Paschati Veshatharini Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vacham Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
We are continuing to read from Canto 3rd, chapter 25. Yesterday we discussed the first 3 verses and we saw how the Shaunakali Rishi, the sages, they were very eager to hear from Sudha Goswami. So they were requesting that please speak ahead. And we discussed the backdrop of this teachings of Lord Kapila there, how Pradama and Devaki got married and what are the primary lessons of our discussion there. And now further, we are beginning from text 4. Sutta Uvacha
Sutta Uvacha
Vaipayana Sakhastvaivam
Vaipayana Sakhastvaivam
Maitreyo Bhagavan Satha
Maitreyo Bhagavam Satha
Ahedam Viduram Prita
Trahenam Viduram Prita
Anvikshikyam Prachodita
Adikshnyam Prachoditaha.
Sri Sudha Goswami said, the most powerful sage, Maitreya, was a friend of Vyasadeva. Being encouraged and pleased by Rudра's inquiry about transcendental knowledge, Maitreya spoke as follows. Purport. Questions and answers are very satisfactorily dealt with when the inquirer is bona fide and the speaker is also authorized. Here, Maitreya is considered a powerful sage, and therefore he is also described as Bhagavan. This word can be used not only for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but for anyone who is almost as powerful as the Supreme Lord. Maitreya is addressed as Bhagavan because he was spiritually far advanced. He was a personal friend of Dvaipayana Vyasadeva, a literary incarnation of the Lord. Maitreya was very pleased with the inquiries of Vidura because they were the inquiries of a bona fide advanced devotee. Thus, Matthew was encouraged to answer. When there are discourses on transcendental topics between devotees of equal mentality, the questions and answers are very fruitful and encouraging. So here, Matthew is beginning to answer those questions. Okay. And Prabhupada is expressing his appreciation for any bona fide conversation of spiritual knowledge to be taking place between a bona fide inquirer and an authorized speaker. So that means Prabhupada explains in the first canto and some other places. Prabhupada says the speaker should be authorized, he should understand the essence of knowledge, and he should have deliberated upon that. Plus, most importantly, the fourth qualification, he should have been blessed by his superiors. So this makes the speaker bona fide. And from the audience side, so they should be humble and they should be eager. This makes the audience bona fide. One more thing Prabhupada adds that if the speaker has compassion for the audience and the audience has respect for the speaker, then it can be like tens of times better reception. So sometimes we see in ISKCON that devotees attend courses, but they do not know the speaker. And the speaker is giving the course, but he does not know the audience. So a far better approach is when actually the traditional approach, how it was. People would stay in the Gurukul or people would come every day to the particular Gurukul. And there would be exchange of spiritual knowledge. So the people were known to each other. The Acharya was known or the Brahmana was known to those people. And those people were known to him. So there is a far better exchange in such a scenario. The knowledge becomes relevant and the receptivity is very high. So Jiva Goswami says humility and eagerness. These are two qualities from the side of Jivatma which attract Krishna. Krishna is immediately attracted. And he says from Krishna's side, uh, there is compassion, which is the highest quality which attracts Jivatma. Like when we hear the pastime of Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivering Jadai and Madai, so we get so much hope. When we hear how Lord Ram was pleased with Jatayu and sent him back to Godhead, immediately feel, oh, I am also incomplete in my service. I may also fail, but I can be accepted. When we hear Vibhishan being blessed by Lord Ramachandra and not rejected, we also feel a great hope. When we see Kubja, who was not only accepted by Krishna, was purified and then given Krishna. And when we hear about Putana, so these qualities of humility and eagerness, and on the Lord's side, the quality of compassion, and one more quality that is told in these beautiful pastimes. So these are most attractive to devotees' hearts. Two qualities. So what is the meaning of beautiful pastimes? Jiva Goswami explained that just see how Krishna or any incarnation of the Lord, how beautifully they do anything they do. Like we said, Adharam, Madhuram, Nayanam, Madhuram. Everything about the Lord is Madhuram. Just see how he dances on the hoots of Kaliya. I mean, who kills someone like that? That is Madhurya killing. So, so anything the Lord does is just extraordinarily charming. That's the meaning of the beauty here. Like he lifts Govardhan hill like this, and is standing also in such a way, na? Like they made na, in the Greek concept of God, they think God is like a very masculine person and somehow holding the earth. So not like that. It's a very beautiful concept. Like Krishna is stealing butter. So one time in one of our camps in South India, one boy got totally bewildered after hearing this. It was a new boy. And he started asking Radheshyam, what is this? Why this God is stealing? He should be an ideal God. At least God should be an ideal person. So Radheshyam was trying to explain to him that there is a rasa in that. He's trying to understand the exchange of affection. He said, no, whatever it is, but God should not know. He should be a just person. And he just couldn't accept it. Finally, after like practically an hour long of argument, Radheshantu said that, what can I say? You are just unfortunate. You are not able to taste the rasa. And he couldn't take it. He left actually the conversation. So you can imagine actually, people are unfortunate. So they're not able to accept the beauty of Krishna's pastimes. The same thing when it is done by a materialistic person, that then it becomes really like not so good. But when Krishna does, it's all pure. Anything he does. He's speaking lies also. That is also so beautiful. So here the eagerness of the audience is appreciated. So Maitreya begins speaking, text 5, this is the translation here. Maitreya said, when Kardama left for the forest, Lord Kapila stayed on the strand of the Bindu Sarovar to please his mother, Devavati. Purport. In the absence of the father, it is the duty of the grown son to take charge of his mother and serve her to the best of his ability so that she will not feel separation from her husband. And it is the duty of the husband to leave home as soon as there is a grown son to take charge of his wife and family of his. That is the Vedic system of household life. One should not remain continually implicated in household affairs up to the time of death. He must leave. Family affairs and the wife may be taken charge of by a grown son. So it is explained, uh, like once 2020, when Harizon and Bhakti Charu Maharaj left this world. So, then many devotees are very heartbroken naturally because Maharaj was like everything to them, not just spiritual master. He was the mentor, he was the closest friend, and he was their leader, he was their go to person. But it was too sudden, nobody expected. Maharaj was in quite good health, even at the age of 74. So after like devotees became sober, after a few weeks or so, so the temple president there, he was a very good friend, he was Rajendra Krishna Prabhu. So he approached his Radheshan Prabhu and said, Prabhuji, I seek your guidance. Now what should be my duty? What should I do now? And Maharaj said, so Maharaj used to tell clearly what to do. So Radheshan Prabhu said, is this even a question? He said, so he put it like this, when the spiritual master or the father leaves, so the son inherits, or the disciple inherits what the spiritual master or the father had been doing. So he just continue his service and his projects and serve, like represent him and continue serving him. And that was such a Vijay Krishna was sharing, oh yeah, that is so correct and so natural. So here also, son actually represents the father. Just like it is said when Krishna returned after a long time to Dwarka after having spent a lot of time in Hastinapur. So the queens were unable to like embrace Krishna right in the middle of the society. But then they didn't want to wait also for Krishna to be alone with them. So then the queens sent their kids. And when Krishna would embrace the kids, so the mothers felt as if Krishna is embracing them. So actually, kids represent their parents, and therefore, if the kids are appreciated, parents also feel appreciated. And good kids would represent the parents and continue their legacy. So it is said, how can we glorify Srila Prabhupada the best? By being Prabhupada, by being perfect gentlemen and ladies. So that is the best way. Like sometimes devotees behave in such wonderful ways that people ask, other devotees ask, hey, where is this devotee from? Who is this spiritual master? Or sometimes people may behave in another way also. I remember in my childhood, so in the city, if you would, as kids, if you behave very nicely, so people would ask, "Beta, आपके पिताश्री का नाम क्या है?" And it's like, no, you ask me, na? What's my name? I behave nicely. But they would ask, and they would say to each other, oh, so nice samskar, their parents have. And if you behave badly, baap kaun hai tera? Who is your, who is your dad? The tone also changes. So it's the same way actually. How devotees behave, ISKCON is glorified. How Vaishnavas behave, then Krishna is glorified. Jayanand Prabhu in San Francisco, he would be like, people would say Jayanand worships Krishna, then Krishna must be God. So Krishna's qualification is he is the boss of Jayanand. Wow. Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur would say, actually, we are the devotees of Srimati Radharani. We Gaudiya Vaishnavas. We have nothing to do with Krishna. Because Radharani loves Krishna, we are also okay to worship him. Krishna says in 10th canto, Shuddhadev and Bahulashva section, that actually he says to Shuddhadev that your place is blessed today because the sages have put their lotus feet in your home. So he said, yeah, Krishna, Lord, they are there and you are also there. Krishna says, no, I am little bit respectable in society because they love me. Otherwise, what is my qualification? So Krishna is telling, my qualification to be everyone's God is because these sages were so pure hearted. They love me. So it is interesting actually to see that how there is this relationship of love between father and son, or guru and disciple, or Lord and the devotees. So much so that the younger one represents the elder one. And actually, the legacy of the elder one is carried on by the younger one. So, therefore, we say, representative. So, presentation is one thing, but representation is the deepest thing. Because representation, as in the case of Haridas Thakur, it requires achar and prachar. Achar, prachar, and vichar. So it is explained in terms of Goswami, the example, that they represented Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Achar, Vichar, and Prachar. So let's see ahead how. There's one more thing Prabhupada explains, that one should not remain in family duties lifelong. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, today is God Purnima. So what an example. He left his family at the age of 24. Of course, that is not to be imitated, but he's showing the example. He showed example of a perfect brahmachari, perfect grahastha, and then perfect sannyasi. So he had only 48 years of life. So I think in that way, he showed like 50-50. So text says, so now Devavati, uh, in the next few verses, expresses her desire and questions to Kapiladev, her son, and now her spiritual mentor. तमासीनम कर्माणम
Samashilam karmanam
तत्त्वमार्गाग्रदर्शनम
tattvamargadarshanam
स्वसुतं देवहूत्याः
swasutam devahutyaha
तु संस्मरति वचः.
Dadu samarati vacha.
When Kapila, who could show her the ultimate goal of absolute truth, was sitting leisurely before her, Devahuti remembered the words Brahma had spoken to her, and she therefore began to question Kapila as follows. Devahuti Vacha
Devahutvacha
Nirvignanitaram Bhuman
nirvinataram bhuman
Asat Indriyatarshana
asat indriyadarshana
Yena Sambhavyamanena
yena sambhavamanena
Pramannandham Tama Prabhu.
prananam prabhu.
I am very sick of the disturbance caused by my material senses. For because of this sense disturbance, my Lord, I have fallen into the abyss of ignorance. So it's a very interesting thing. You see, she is not talking of bhakti here. She is talking of the frustration she has got from material life. So it is explained by Acharya that this is the first qualification to achieve bhakti for a general person. That he or she should be done with material life. At least conceptually there should be a doubt. Probably this is not what I've been looking for. And see, devotee is not just telling this as a theory. Devotee and Kardama enjoyed material luxuries for like thousands of years. In a, I mean, people go for destination marriage and all this. These guys had like destination, destination. I don't know how to explain. Created a whole new paradigm of enjoyment. So it was some kind of a cloud city, and in that cloud city, it was like floating. Oh yeah, this is here. Yeah, yeah. And there were palaces, there were lakes, gardens, and there were all kinds of seasons there, and all kinds of facilities. Everything was there. It was like America, even for America. So in that place, they enjoyed for thousands of years. Now, uh, Kardama was so pleased with Devotee, he had said that actually you didn't take care of your own body while serving me and assisting me for hundreds of years. And you always gave the topmost priority to assisting me. You never bothered to ask anything for yourself. And you came from the background of a king's palace. You were a princess. And here in forest, you were like a simple maid servant. In Hindi, they said, आपने चूं तक नहीं बोला. Like sometimes a table also may do chew. Like after, if you use the door for many years and do not do any maintenance, then like it starts doing chew, which means there is some friction now, some hesitation, some frustration spoken, even by a dead thing, like matter. Imagine a person just revolts, blasts, but devotee happily, very gratefully, very enthusiastically went on serving. And there was not even a notice that, okay, will be this service is till this point of time. So, so he was so pleased. He said, I can give you anything. I have got all the spiritual opulences. I have got all the vibhutis. I have got all the transcendental knowledge. She said, no, no, I want to, we never went on honeymoon. So she asked for a big, and Dharma said, honeymoon, that's like very simple. You know, that I can easily do. And that is how he created this uh, mansion and everything. Now, after thousands of years of spending in such enjoyment and luxury, uh, and Karnam had also given her back her beauty. You know, in fact, more than that, it is said there was a lake created, Bindu Sarovar, and then she took bath in that, and she just transformed totally. So after all that thing, Kardama finally left her after she got 10 kids. All the daughters and the son, couple of him. And he leaves. And we just like, now she is lamenting that actually I could not become happy. So, you know, many Prabhupada disciples lamented after Prabhupada left. They felt that I could have done more chanting while Prabhupada was there. I could have done more service to Prabhupada. I could have, instead of, you know, whiling away my time here and there, I could have distributed more books. Of course, they were all very sincere and enthused. They served a lot. But they still felt that I could have done more. I could have done more while Prabhupada was there. It is said to make hay while the sun shines. Right? So similarly, while opportunity is there, you know, just like youths, they think a lot of time is there. You know? So sometimes they are little, you know, not so serious. And as we become old, time is not there. Energy is not there in the body. Initially, energy is there, time is not. Time is there, energy is there, but the desire is not there. Later on, desires are there, but time and energy is not there. So, therefore, her situation actually explains to us, teaches us that when we have the association of some wonderful devotees, when we have some great opportunities, that is the time we should make maximum out of it. Otherwise, when it is lost, like I was talking to one During COVID time, I was talking to one very rich man. So he owns like two five-star hotels in foreigners. I was telling him, why don't you sponsor some visas and this? Many things I was asking. He was not ready on it. So he didn't do anything. He just gave like some peanuts for the new temple project. And he said, no, I have to go to Australia and I'm very busy. I have to do business. And I said, like, you're like 81. Now what? Now you retire. And how much you have already? Hundreds of crores. So, but then finally, after 1 year, I get the news that the second wave of COVID, very cool. Ram sir there. So then I was telling his brother, see, he had opportunity. He had so much money. His brother also didn't tell him. And after the second wave of COVID, he also left. So can you imagine? While they had so much money, so much opportunity, they could have served Krishna even with 10%, 20%, they could have gone back to Godhead. Destination changed, different boarding paths. So when we have the opportunity, if we don't utilize, it gets, and then we lament. In Hindi, there is a saying, अब बचता है क्या हो
जो
जब
क्रिया
क्रिया
कृषि
छूट
होती है
गई। So this is the situation of Devahuti. She's feeling like, I, okay, next verse. तस्य त्वं तमसोऽन्धस्य
तस्य त्वं तमसोऽन्धस्य
दुष्पारस्याद्यपारगम्
तस्य विकारकम्
सचक्षुर्जन्मनामन्ते
सचक्षुर्जन्मनामन्ते
लब्धं मे त्वदनुग्रहात्
लब्धं मे त्वदनुग्रहात्
Your Lordship is my only means of getting out of this darkest region of ignorance, because you are my transcendental eye, which by your mercy only I have attained after many, many births. So Prabhupada explains this Paragam word is the right attitude for a disciple to approach a spiritual master or a spiritual mentor. Why? So there has to be that confidence that this person can take me to the other side. In Rama and Lord Ramachandra says to Kevat, please take me and my family to the other side. And Kevat also says later on, I don't want to charge you anything. Just like I took you to the other side, one day you also take me to the other side. So it's a very beautiful thing. It's Lord Ram loves this actually. Says this. So uh, it is also explained by Srila Prabhupada in the previous purport that one should not be too disgusted and too attached with the material world. So both are not good for Vaishnavas. Too attached to material world is karmi, and too disgusted with material world is jnani. But devotee should be neutral to the material world. So he should be objective. You know, not like he's condemning family life or he's condemning all the matter which is there. He's condemning every material law. He's condemning money also. No, Vaishnava is not like that. He's like objective. Oh, if I use family, money, and material objects, material life for my own pleasure, it's not satisfying. It's rather troubling. But oh, if I use it in Krishna's service, it's very nice. It's great to have a lot of money if it can be used in Krishna's service. It can be used in a devotional life. Oh, it is great to have a very good cooperative wife, because then it's like having 4 5 hands now. You can do a lot. Oh, it's great to have some kids because then you have authority over them. You can love them and you can raise them in Krishna consciousness. Oh, it's great to have a post. I remember when few years back, so as Radhishna told me, man, that you accept this post of temple president. I said, no, no, Guruji. This is all great and all. I just want to do preaching. I just want to serve. So I'm not attached to all this. This is all burden. So then he looked at me. So you mean to say I am attached? I didn't mean that. I never thought. Then he explained to me that you sit down. Then he told me, let's see, you see, sometimes if the If not a very well trained or right person is put on the post, then the further good things, the good culture becomes difficult to establish in a place. Therefore, it's very important. If you want to do some good service, this post will help you. It's like a tool. I say, okay. If you say it like that, then okay. So, for a devotee, he is not attached or detached. He is neutral. Hmm. So, but here devotee is like too much disgusted. So that is jnani tendency. And that's what she is asking. She never asked for bhakti. She will never asked for prema. She never asked for seva. She will just be asking for, this is all frustrating. Just sometimes it happens with the rounds also. No? We just want to be done with it. पता नहीं किसने फंसा दिया मुझे chanting. At the same time, it's okay because at least we are doing our duty to spiritual master. Okay, next. या आद्यो भगवान पुंसाम
या आद्यो भगवान पुंसाम
ईश्वरो वै भवान् किल
ईश्वरो वै भवान्
लोकस्य तमसान्धस्य
लोकस्य तमसान्तस्य
चक्षुसूर्य इवोदितः
चक्षुष्टुर्या इवोदितः.
You are the supreme person, you God, the origin, the supreme life of all living entities. You arisen to disseminate the rays of the sun in order to dissipate the darkness of the ignorance of the universe. So it's just like saying that you can actually open my eyes, Chakshura Militam, similar to that. And the next verse, Athame Deva Sammoham
अथमे देव सम्मोहम्
Aprakrashtum Tvamarhasi
अप्राकृष्टुं तमर्हसि
Yogagrahoham Mametiti
योगग्रहोऽहं ममेति
Etasmin Yojitastvaya.
एतस्मिन् योजितस्त्वया.
Now be pleased, my Lord, to dispel my great delusion. Due to my feeling of false ego, I have been engaged by your Maya and have identified myself with the body and consequent bodily relations. So Prabhupada explains that one must be like a naked book in front of the spiritual master, and honest, just like a patient goes to the doctor and he just clearly says, I've got this pain here, I've got this joint problem here, whatever it is. So similarly, one should honestly admit, like a very humble person, meek person, that actually, just like Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, Chaitanya was so pleased with them, with their humility. They said, we don't even know who we are really, spiritually. And the entire world is glorifying us. And Chaitanya was so pleased with their humility that first instruction he gives to them is, Ajitumi Dui Prabhu Rupa Sanatana. He says, from today onwards, both of you will be known as Rupa and Sanatana, not Dabir Khas and Sakar Malik. There's initiated. And first instruction. Then ne chadi, then ne tomar phate mora mana. First you give up your humility. This is too much. It's breaking my heart. I'm feeling ashamed. First reduce your humility. In our case, it will be like first become humble. so, so this humility of honestly admitting one's material disease, is actually even when a person bows down in front of us, immediately blessings come. Like we feel like a senior. And if we want to bless, we want to give. Like a beggar comes and says, imagine if the beggar comes, I deserve $10 donation. You'll feel I'll take from you rather. So the idea is that this kind of humility actually attracts the mercy of spiritual master. And the last one, like the last verse is Devotee speaks. Tantva gataham sharanam sharanyam Swabhrit samsara taro kutaram Jignasayaham prakrite purushasya Namami sadharma vidam varishtham I have taken shelter of your lotus feet because you are the only person of whom to take shelter. You are the axe which can cut the tree of material existence. I therefore offer my obeisances unto you, who are the greatest of all transcendentalists, and I inquire from you as to the relationship between man and woman and between spirit and matter. So see here also, she's just telling you please cut the tree of my material life. She's not telling please plant the creeper of devotion in the garden of my heart. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, again, this is God Purnima to discuss about Chaitanya. So Mahaprabhu instructed Rupa Goswami in the process of devotional service in the holy city of Prayagraj. And he taught that actually he never said that we have to cut the tree of material existence. Rather, Mahaprabhu said that we have to plant the Bhakti Lata creeper in the garden of our heart. So he said four things about it. So about a plant, like you see in the gardening, first factor is the bhumi, or the land. So the land should be fertile, which means it should be plowed. It should be free from any kind of pebbles and stones, weeds, right? So second factor in a plant's growth is the seed should be high quality. Okay. Third factor in a plant's growth is it should, as it grows after sowing the seed, it should be nourished with sunlight, water, and manure. And fourth factor in the plant's growth is it should be protected with a fencing, you know, and it should be protected with like lots of other trees around. Similarly, Mahaprabhu explains that in our spiritual life, in our bhakti lata, in our bhakti journey, so the four factors. The first factor is the land. The land should be fertile. It should be free from all the pebbles, stones, and it should be free from all the weeds. So, what is the meaning of that? So it is explained with the example of Raghunath Das Goswami by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. He says that Raghunath Das Goswami was so humble and gentle in his dealings. He would pay obeisances to the Vaishnavas, he would glorify them, he would never want to. Raghunath Bhatta Goswami also, he would never hear any Vaishnavas ninda. So, because of their attitude, like you just go in their contact and they'll be like respecting you, they'll be glorifying. There is a devotee, Rudranath Chopadi. He doesn't know anything except glorification. Literally, like, at least I've been watching him since last 20 years. So, so because of such devotee, you just remember such a devotee, you smile even while you are alone. And then when the living entity is happy, Paramatma is happy, and then Paramatma blesses such a person. So the land of our heart, the land of our heart becomes fertile and free from pebbles and stones in these two ways. One is when we receive blessings of the devotee. So those blessings act like a plow and they till the land of our heart. And then it becomes very easy to sow the seed. And what is the meaning of removing pebbles and stones? That we should not wish ill for devotees or for living entities also. So you'll find in many places this aspect of, you know, Amana. Sakale Samana Kurite Shakati Monataya तबे तो गाइबो हरि नाम सुखे अपराधे अभिहता. This paragraph is actually the same teaching. Those two things are there. Let me become able, oh my dear spiritual master, by your grace, to be able to respect and value every devotee, every living entity according to their loving relationship with you. And let me not offend. Aparadha. Then I will be able to chant the holy name very easily, very constantly. Same thing in Trinadati Sunichan, same thing. So this is about the land of our heart. Second thing, seed, the quality of the high quality seed. So high quality seed we receive from high quality source. So we have the highest quality source, Srila Prabhupada and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is that verse? That song is there. There is this song. uh, "O Dil Aruna Pura Bhage." In that one line comes that I have come here for you. O dear living entities, I have come here for you. And there is one another line that who is your better friend than me? Tomavina Amibina Bandhu Keache Tomara. Lord is telling, you tell me, my dear living entity, who's your better Bandhu than me? I have no obligation to come from the spiritual world for you. And I have, at least in Kali Yuga, I don't have to come and give the highest thing, but I am coming and giving the highest thing. Actually, the flute sound of Krishna's the sound of Krishna's flute, which he plays in Ras Leela, it is explained by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. That is what that the sound of that flute is brought by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to material world, and that takes the form of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which means it is the highest revelation even of the Madhurya. Madhurya. So what we have is like that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is glorified. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padaya Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Krishna. So the seed is of the highest quality already. We just have to take it carefully and allow it to be in the fertile heart, in the fertile land. Then third factor, once you sow the seed in that fertile land, we have to nourish it. So what is the sunlight? What is the water? What is the manure for us? That is a process of Shravanam Kirtan and the ninefold processes, but especially Shravanam Kirtan. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pad Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atmanivedanam. So whether it is taking Charanamrit, whether it is circumambulating the Tulasi Maharani, whether it is celebrating festivals, we know that these festivals are Bhakti Janani. They give birth to Bhakti in our heart. So therefore, with pomp and reverence, with enthusiasm, we celebrate these festivals. But there's so many devotees got up early morning, even kids are coming and they're taking part in Mangal Aarti, making garlands, doing services, hearing, chanting. This is so wonderful. So Lord becomes pleased by all this. And then devotees go for yatras, and special bhakti comes by going to yatras. Same yatra lecture we hear online, not that much bhakti comes. Why? Because Lord sees that this person is putting an effort. So these nine processes, especially Shravanam and Kirtan and the association of devotees, they are that nourishment. So, so this is the third, like the sunlight, the water, the manure. And the fourth factor, Mahaprabhu explains to Rupa Goswami, is the fencing or protection. So fencing is of two types. One is putting the fence in that way, and another is like having many trees around us. Always being in the association of devotees. One of the five processes of devotion that is mentioned is Mathura Vas. Mathura Vas means to stay in a place where Radha and Krishna are in the center, which means in a temple, a matha, or in a community of devotees. Like we can see, even the kids are so much protected when they are in a community of devotees. Nowadays, there are nuclear families, or neutron proton families. But previously, like at least I got the good fortune of growing up in a joint family. So no parents had to worry about the kids because like in our family, four generations were together, and in those days, generation means six, seven kids each generation, and then they were like almost 80, 90 people, and that was one family. So I remember you do any celebration inside only, and everything was grown inside. The fields were inside, Gaushala was inside. There was hardly anything outside. And the kid gets affection of so many people, and he calls so many fathers. Papa, Bade Papa, Sabse Bade Papa, Chote Papa. Yeah, really. And Mummy, Badi Mummy, Choti Mummy, Tai, Chachi, this, that. Amma, Mom, all. Like there are so many. It's such a good fortune actually. Even trees you can see, like the redwood trees in California forest, so their roots are not very deep individually. So the storm comes, ideally they should be like cyclones or storms. They should be like going down, right? Falling apart. But then they don't. Why? Because there are so many trees all around them. Each tree is surrounded by six, seven trees, like circular. And each tree has the roots intertwined with the roots of the other trees around it. So there is like it's like in the civil engineering. I think there's someone from civil engineering. Oh, sure. So just like when there is if the land is rocky and very hard, then in civil engineering technique then you can have the piling, the individual piling. There's only the pillars are like individual pillars. But when the land is little porous or land is little soft, it's a river basin or something. So then they teach to make a raft. Raft means like in the table also you can see like that the table is there. So it has individual, so it's not very stable. But if you connect even those legs by beams, so that it becomes super strong. The more you connect with each other, super strong. Actually. So it's costly in construction. But if you do that, the life of the building, the stability goes like way up, it shoots up. So similarly, when the devotees, more they have heart-to-heart relationships and they stay in the association of devotees, in a community of devotees, the protection is very high, very high. So both the things. One basic step is to be in the community of devotees. And the best is, like icing on the cake is when relationships are very strong. It's like triple bond, or it's like benzene bond in chemistry, double bond. And sometimes even the single bond is hardly surviving. So then one single guy also comes, chlorine minus, and then it knocks off that bond easily. We studied in chemistry, right? These things. So materially also these laws are like so correct. So Mahaprabhu taught this thing. Whereas Devabhuti here is asking, please cut the tree of my material life. So actually, jnana, she's asking for jnana, but only to end material life. It's like asking for money only to pay off all the debts. Yeah, but then next what? Don't you want a home? Don't you want to be rich? So bhakti means positive, and this mukti means just neutral, and material life means negative. It's like being in debt. So of course, when you are too much in debt, all you think of is somehow this debt can be filled. But actually, that won't make us happy. That will only just remove the anxiety. But to become happy, we need also something. So, but good thing is she's approaching Kapila Dev. So many people approach ISKCON and ISKCON devotees also for different reasons. So like one devotee in our Brooklyn BYS, so he was telling Prabhu, I just came there for prasad. But and he was thinking that see these people don't understand. I'm cheating them. And he was counting dollars. One plate I'm taking free. So I'm like, I'm such a smart fellow. And then he moved in also, thinking that this is a very cheap thing. Like, and I'm living in such nice address, such a big place, and such nice, competent people around me. So it's very good actually. And in US, you always need some, if you are coming on a temporary visa. And devotees were also smiling. This guy doesn't know the actual cost of these meals. Each meal is costing him lifetimes. And moving in means, after all, will change his lifestyle and the color also. Wait and watch. Chaitanya will give you all the bhavas. And the devotee is telling Prabhu, they changed me in 1 year. Now my destination is changing. I said, wow, that's very nice. So I said, Prabhu, what should I do? I said, you also cheat some people. Great souls cheat for a great cause. So the idea is that she is still very fortunate because, like Dhruva had even lower quality desires than her. Dhruva wanted material kingdom. She at least is looking for mukti. So, in our spiritual life, it is that even if you are proud, lusty, angry, egoistic, whatever, at least we should approach the right direction and we should like right person and follow. So the basic thing about spiritual life is if we can be fortunate to get a Vaishnava in our life. This will also be explained by in after a few verses in verse number 20 by Kapila Dev as the very source of bhakti. So therefore it is said akama sarva kamava moksha kama udarati. So she is which category? Moksha kama. Or somebody may be spiritually desirous, like akama. Or somebody may be desirous of material life, sarva kama, like Dhruva Maharaj. So we can see like Vidura, Dhruva, and Devaru. But
What is Vedura again?
Vidura also approached Maitreya, but with desires for pure devotion service. Yeah. Of course, he was already a pure devotee, but I'm just taking an example. Like, or if we take Parikshit, let us say. I think Parikshit is a good example. So Parikshit uh, and Dhruva and Devahuti. So all three different levels. But that is not the main point. Main point is they are approaching a Vaishnava. Once you approach a Vaishnava, that's it. You know, wonderful. That's the most important thing. But yeah, it could be even better if you approach uh, directly for pure devotional service. Imagine Arjuna would have approached directly for Krishna, what I'm supposed to do. Gita would have been only 2-3 verses. Easy for us. So life becomes easy, less complicated if you can directly come to the point. But either way, come to the point at least. Directly or indirect. So that is the situation of Devahuti. And Prabhupada says that to cut the tree of material entanglement, the most suitable weapon is a spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master. So the most fortunate person is one who Brahmand Brahmite Kona Bhagyamana Jiva Shri Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti. So if the person can uh, receive the association of a bona fide spiritual master. So in our case, we don't just have bona fide, we have ecstatic spiritual masters. Otherwise, many times, uh, like in the some of the other sampradayas, it's not so easy actually. I mean, look at us, like we have such ecstatic. So my mother is from Pushti Marg, so she says, "You ISKCON people, you are fallen souls." Even Ekadashi, we eat so much. There is written. In Hindi, she said, like, "Hapsi ke tarah khate ho tum." Ekadashi ko maine choda. So I tell my mother, we are preaching mission, so we just go to the borderline. One thing also is allowed, we'll include that also. And she says, you guys don't have manners. You jump like, as if you've never jumped in your life in Kirtan and says, Mama, why don't you just admit that we are more fortunate? Then your bhajans and Kirtan, they are like, uh, low pitch and low volume and yeah, our Kirtan, it produces ecstasy. We cannot just like the milk, just flows over, spills over, right? That is what. But really, actually, plus we have the best source, the best everything. We just have to ourselves. It's like the tower is very good, the signaling tower, the receptive mobile. It has to receive as maximum as possible. So, so further, um, from verse number 12 to 19. So we are not reading this. We'll just directly tomorrow go to verse number 20 onwards. I'll just give a summary. So from 12 to 19, actually in this entire section only. like what Kapil does. Kapil, see, this is the beauty of Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam has many such instances where a person was not looking for bhakti at all. Like in sixth canto, Diti approaches Kashyapa. Diti's desire was even lower than Dhruva. She wanted to kill Indra. Now this is not even counted as material desire. This is counted as even material desire would say what a fallen soul. Because this is like I want to kill someone else who's not even responsible for what I think he's responsible. So Diti was filled with rage, envy, and she wanted to like just want to cut off this Indra's head. I would have cut off Krishna's head also, who came as Vishnu's head also, who came as Varaha and Narasimha to kill my sons, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. But I cannot kill Vishnu, right? But at least I can kill Indra. And Kashyapa got trapped into, like she was behaving so nicely, serving so nicely that Kashyapa said, you just promised, whatever you want, I can give. She said, promise? Promise? Like kids, promise. And then she released the weapon. I want to kill him now. Give me the power to kill him now. And he was like, my goodness, oh my Lord Chaitanya, what did I promise? And to whom did I promise? But then these guys had character in those days. So he said, I will deliver the process which can give you the power to kill him. But he thought, anyway, she is submissive. That's a good thing about being a woman. Very easily you can submit. You can serve. So he said that there is this. So he created a complicated process on the spot called Payovrata. And then he gave that process so much filled with rules and regulations. But she was like determined to kill him. So she accepted everything. But he knew that one mistake will happen one day. And Indra was looking for that. So he wanted to kill, because she was basically having a child in the womb. And that child would be so powerful because of Payovrata process. He would kill Indra. But while he was in the womb only, Indra entered her womb and he cut that child into first 7 and then 49, 7 into 7. But they all became Maruts. Like they all became small demigods. And they said, Indra Bhaiya, big brother, we are your little brothers, right? Because we are cousins. Father is same. And Indra was like, hey, these are my associates, why should I kill them? And by that time, actually, she also started addressing Indra as she got up and she said, Indra, you are my son. She actually addressed him as son. Because she also, just like Dhruva left his envy and anger even towards Suruchi, Uttanapad, and Uttama. So, similarly, her heart was also purified. And interestingly, Bhagavatam explains that when she gave up her envy, that inspired Indra and he felt ashamed and he also addressed her as mother. He also gave up his insecurity towards her. So this is so amazing that bhakti can purify a person's heart and then that person can also inspire bhakti in others' heart. The best comes out from our personality when we associate with such devotees who have got in touch with Krishna. Prithu Maharaj explains in fourth canto that just like we say, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya. So Prabhupada is always at the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu and he is always in touch with Krishna. Krishna Prishtaya. So therefore, like if somebody is always surrounded by flowers, so then that person's hand will also have some fragrance of flower, like some remnants may remain. So similarly, he says that the golden dust particles from the lotus feet of Vishnu are also on the body of the Vaishnava because Vaishnava is always the lotus feet of Vishnu. And when we associate with such great Vaishnavas like Prabhupada, when we hear from them, when we serve them, so by their blessings and association, we also get some of those particles. And then we are purified. Otherwise, we don't have direct access to Vishnu's lotus feet. Similarly, Diti was purified. And then Indra was inspired in Bhakti also. And so the entire idea is we approach the right person. In any case, will be purified. So Kapiladev also, just like Kashyapa, uh, he understands, okay, Devavati has actually at least come to me. I will give her bhakti only, but I will not cheat also. I will honestly tell that, see, your desire can be fulfilled by jnana also. Your desire can be fulfilled. So jnana marga, yoga marga, and bhakti marga, all three can fulfill your desire. So he explains in 12th to 19th that let me offer you, my dear mother, Adhyatmika Yoga. Adhyatmik Yoga means he explains, I will explain all three processes to you. Okay. So he explains Jnana Marg in 26th and 27th chapter, next two chapters. And then he explains Yoga Marg in 28th chapter. Okay. And he explains Bhakti Marg, Shuddha Bhakti Marg in the rest of the chapter, this 25th. So from verse number 20 onwards, he begins to explain Shuddha Bhakti. First, he explains in few verses, I think till verse 27, and then he starts explaining some more details of the Bhakti. And it is so beautiful, especially verse number 20 and 25 are like world famous in Bhagavad circles. So they are some of the most intricate secrets of the path of Bhakti Yoga. So he establishes the supremacy of Bhakti, saying that actually Bhakti can give you everything and more than. It can give you the essence of all other paths plus whatever else is remaining. And in that way, he glorifies Bhakti, left, right, center. And then he says that, but I'll still explain to you other paths. But Devahuti finally chooses Bhakti. Because just like Arjuna also heard everything, all the 18 chapters. Finally he understood Krishna loves me. And he just surrenders to Krishna. Because Krishna is telling, Sarvadharma Parityaja, then let me just accept. So similar thing will happen here. So we'll read it further. But 12 to 19 we are skipping so that we can cover at least like 10 more verses till Saturday.
So these chapters come before Jnana Marga and Yoga Marga, before this 25th chapter.
No,
Comes later.
absolutely. 26th and 27th are Jnana Marga because it is very complicated.
29th is also about devotional service.
Yeah, so like he gives devotional service here, then he gives Jnana and Karma, Jnana and Yoga, not Karma. He gives Jnana and Karma, he doesn't even talk because Karma she was frustrated.
Asking.
So out of four, one was already gone. And then 29 he again begins to explain Bhakti in various modes also. And then he will explain about the Jiva.
And pure devotion service starts with chapter? Pure devotion service.
Oh yeah. Hare Krishna. We'll end it here. Dhritarashtra Bhagavatam
Ki
Jai.
Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Gaur.
Pure devotion only explains here.
Yeah,
Here
itself.
only.
Then again here.
So that chapter is here.
That is not full chapter. Some section of verse.
There is chapter of pure devotion. Comes here.
Active activities. Then again he explains about the jiva because karma के कारण